Manchester United have tried legends. They have tried pragmatists. They have tried tacticians and rebuilders. None of them worked. Now there are three names left on the board. Three completely different philosophies. Three completely different futures. And one wrong decision could cost the biggest club in England another 5 years of failure. Michael Carrick, Julian Nagelsmann, Xabi Alonso. One is inside the club, winning matches, beloved by the players. One is a tactical genius the United recruitment team have been chasing for years. And one is a Liverpool legend who might be willing to cross the line that nobody has ever crossed. This is the biggest managerial decision Manchester United have made since Sir Alex Ferguson walked away in 2013, and they are about to get it right, or get it wrong, again. Let's start with how we got here. In November 2024, Manchester United sacked Erik ten Hag.
Because Manchester United have sacked their manager, Erik ten Hag. A statement has just appeared on the club's website. It says Erik was appointed in April 2022.
They replaced him with Ruben Amorim.
Welcome to Manchester. You enjoying the city?
Yeah, it's quite lovely, sunny for 4 days.
The young Portuguese manager who had just led Sporting CP to a league title. He was meant to be the future. He was meant to be the identity. He was meant to be the answer. He was not. Amorim's insistence on a three-at-the-back system never clicked with a squad that had been built for a back four. The players looked confused. The attacking phases were stilted. The defending was worse. By December 2025, United had slumped to 15th in the Premier League the previous season and were sinking again in the new one. The final straw was a humiliating FA Cup exit to Brighton. The board had seen enough. Amorim was gone.
Is that Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim. Okay, Jamie predicted it just a few minutes ago. He has gone. We understand.
Darren Fletcher took over for a week before the club settled on Michael Carrick as interim head coach. His job was simple: stabilize the club until the summer, when a permanent replacement would be chosen. That was supposed to be the end of the story. Carrick as the placeholder, someone big in the summer. Then Carrick started winning. 7 wins from 10 games. A statement victory over Manchester City. Bruno Fernandes rediscovering his best form. United climbing from 7th to 3rd in the table. Champions League qualification, which looked impossible in December, suddenly within touching distance. And suddenly the decision that was supposed to be simple was anything but. Let's talk about the 3 candidates. Michael Carrick has the hardest argument to make because his case depends almost entirely on the last 3 months. What he has done is undeniable. He inherited a broken squad and made them look like one of the most informed teams in the Premier League. He switched from a rigid 3 at the back to a standard 4-4-2 hybrid that gives players freedom. He moved Bruno Fernandes back to his natural number 10 role. He trusted the senior players. He stopped creating drama in press conferences.
I think we're really proud of the environment and the culture that we've got at the club, and equality and diversity and respect for each other is something that we look to carry through every day. And I've travelled the world and I know what this club means to an awful lot of people, so fully aware of the responsibility, and we're trying to carry that out every single day.
The results speak for themselves. 7 wins from his first 10 games. The best defensive record in the Premier League over that stretch. Bruno Fernandes on course to break Thierry Henry's all-time Premier League assists record. But then came Leeds, a home defeat to a newly promoted side.
We didn't start the game particularly well. We obviously conceded, which then Yoro gets a forearm smash in the back of his head, and then they score the first goal. So didn't decide to overturn that decision. So that was a big moment in the game. we didn't quite have the rhythm, we didn't click, we had some moments, but it wasn't quite there for large parts.
Lisandro Martinez involved in an embarrassing incident where he brushed Dominic Calvert-Lewin's hair in the tunnel. The game was effectively over before kickoff, and the performance reflected it. That single defeat changed the conversation because it exposed something the 7-win streak had hidden. Does Michael Carrick actually have a tactical identity, or is he just a calm presence who got players to play freely? The evidence from Middlesbrough suggests the ceiling might be limited. He got them to the playoffs. He got them to a cup semi-final. But he never got them promoted. He never won a trophy. He was eventually sacked after a 10th place championship finish. Carrick is the fans' choice. He is the players' choice. He might even be the cheapest choice. But is he the choice that wins Manchester United the Premier League? That is the question. And United's history of backing former players as managers, Solskjaer, Ferguson's replacements, Giggs briefly, suggests the answer is usually no. Julian Nagelsmann is the complete opposite of Carrick. Where Carrick is quiet, Nagelsmann is loud. Where Carrick is experienced as a player but limited as a manager, Nagelsmann is the opposite. He became the youngest head coach in Bundesliga history at 28. He took Hoffenheim into the Champions League. He took Leipzig to the Champions League semi-finals. He managed Bayern Munich. He is currently head coach of the German national team heading into the World Cup. His tactical identity is clear. Nagelsmann favors a high-pressing, possession-based game built around positional play. He rotates formations constantly. 3 at the back, 4 at the back, diamond midfields, false nines. He is famous for micromanaging every aspect of preparation, from set pieces to nutrition to sleep schedules. If United want a tactical elite, Nagelsmann is the closest thing available. But there are problems. First, he is contracted to Germany until after Euro 2028. To get him, United would need to wait until the World Cup ends in July. And even then, the German Federation may not release him. Second, he has never managed in the Premier League. His Bayern Munich spell ended with a sacking.
Monitoring Julian Nagelsmann's situation as they consider replacing Antonio Conte as head coach. Nagelsmann, his sacking by Bayern Munich has just been confirmed in the last few minutes. Thomas Tuchel is confirmed as his successor. So Dharmesh Sheth here to talk about this.
The transition from the Bundesliga to English football has broken managers who looked untouchable in Germany. Remember Jurgen Klopp's first year. Third, his ego and tactical micromanagement can clash with senior players. Bayern reportedly sacked him partly because of dressing room tensions. At United, with players like Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire already in the building, that could be a problem. One advantage United have: Christopher Vivell, United's head of recruitment, worked with Nagelsmann at RB Leipzig. That relationship is valuable. If United want him, they have a direct line. Nagelsmann is the ambitious choice. He is the choice that says, we want to win the Premier League, not just compete in it. But he is also the riskiest choice. And United's recent history with ambitious young managers, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, Amorim, is not encouraging. Which brings us to Xabi Alonso, the most controversial candidate of the three. Let's deal with the obvious first. Xabi Alonso spent 5 years as a Liverpool player. He won the Champions League with them in 2005. He is a Liverpool legend. For some United fans, that alone is disqualifying. The idea of hiring a man who kissed the Liverpool badge as your manager is, for many, a line that cannot be crossed. But let's put that aside for a moment and look at what Alonso actually offers as a coach. At Bayer Leverkusen, he did something nobody in the history of German football had ever done. He went unbeaten in the Bundesliga, 51 matches unbeaten in all competitions across a single season. He ended Bayern Munich's 11-year dominance. He won the Bundesliga and the German Cup. He built a system around Florian Wirtz and Granit Xhaka that was tactically flexible, defensively disciplined, and technically elegant. The football world called him the next Guardiola. Real Madrid hired him, and then it went wrong. Alonso's time at the Bernabeu lasted 8 months. He struggled to manage the egos of Vinicius, Rodrigo, and the rest of the Madrid dressing room. Results dipped. A Supercopa defeat to Barcelona was the final blow. He left by mutual consent in January 2026. So what do we make of Alonso? Here is the honest answer. Leverkusen proved he can build something. Madrid proved he might struggle in a big ego environment. And the Leverkusen invincible season proved he can create a tactical identity that dominates. Alonso's preferred system is a 3-4-3. His teams press high, play direct vertical football, and rely on wide forwards and inverted wingbacks. It is modern, aggressive, and attractive. Exactly the kind of football United have been searching for since Ferguson left. The Liverpool connection will always be a problem, but if United can swallow it, Alonso might be the most tactically complete option on the table. Football Transfers confirmed last week that Alonso has held preliminary talks with United, along with Manchester City, Benfica, and Porto. He is available. He is interested. And the question is whether United have the courage to make the call. So how do these three actually compare tactically? Let's break it down by system. Carrick plays a standard 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 hybrid. 2 central midfielders who sit deep. Bruno Fernandes as the number 10. Fullbacks who push forward but don't invert. A pragmatic counter-attacking approach that lets the players play freely. Nagelsmann is much more complex. His system varies week to week, but the core is positional play with a high press. Expect inverted fullbacks, a false 9, and a midfielder dropping between the centre-backs in build-up. High risk, high reward. Demands tactically intelligent players. Alonso plays 3-4-3 with wing-backs. His Leverkusen side attacked through the half spaces, pressed aggressively after losing the ball, and relied on rotations between the number 10 and the strikers. Flexible, but with a clear identity. Now apply these systems to United's current squad. Bruno Fernandes thrives as a number 10. Carrick plays him there. Alonso's system has a number 10 role too. Nagelsmann might play him deeper, which could blunt his impact. United's attackers, Rashford, Højlund, Ahmad, are best on transitions, not extended possession. Carrick's counter-attacking style fits this. Nagelsmann's possession-based game might not. Alonso's vertical approach probably does. The defense is the key. Carrick has organized United's back four into one of the most solid in the Premier League. Nagelsmann would demand centre-backs who can play out from the back under pressure, not currently a strength. Alonso's 3-at-the-back system would need a completely different defensive profile. So here is the honest verdict. If United want stability and continuity, they keep Carrick. He is working. The players love him. He has done enough to deserve the chance. If United want elite tactical ceiling and are willing to take a risk, they go for Nagelsmann, but they must wait until after the World Cup and accept that he may never come. If United want a complete rebuild with a clear philosophical identity, they hire Alonso. They swallow the Liverpool connection. They back him in the transfer market. And they accept that it could be another 8-month Madrid disaster, or it could be another Leverkusen miracle. My pick? Alonso. Here is why. Manchester United have not had a tactical identity since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Solskjaer was a vibes manager. Ten Hag had a system but couldn't impose it on English football. Amorim was too rigid. Carrick has done brilliantly, but his system is reactive. It works because the players are happy, not because the tactics are elite. Alonso is the only candidate whose work at Leverkusen proves he can build an elite, repeatable tactical identity from scratch. Yes, Madrid went wrong. But Madrid was a broken dressing room he inherited. United would be giving him a squad that has just spent 6 months rediscovering how to play with structure under Carrick. The Liverpool connection is a problem, but it is a problem United have to get over if they want to win. Guardiola coached Bayern and then went to City. Mourinho coached Chelsea and Real Madrid and then went to United. Football managers are not mercenaries. They are professionals, and the best professional available right now is Xabi Alonso. That is my verdict. But this is not my decision. It is not even your decision. It is United's. And whatever they choose, we will be watching. If Carrick stays, the club gets stability and a likely top 4 finish every season. If Nagelsmann comes, they get tactical ambition but enormous risk. If Alonso comes, they get the most interesting managerial appointment in Europe, and potentially the man who finally drags Manchester United back to the top. Who would you hire? Drop a comment below and let me know. And subscribe to 99 Football Files for more tactical breakdowns and football stories every week.